way, Tarnished. May I have a word?
Hello everyone. Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Dark Hollow. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. Today we are doing episode 5, but we are gonna do it a little bit different. We are actually gonna do this episode in post-commentary. The reason that we are doing it in post-commentary is that during the recording of this footage, I was at the peak of my COVID experience. The peak of me having COVID, which was, it wasn't too great. I tried doing the commentary, but it just wasn't up to the standards that I do try to hold, even though, my standards obviously aren't that high. But yeah, so post-commentary, which does have some benefits. It allows me to focus a little bit more on what I am saying, instead of also having to play the game and worrying about the quality of my footage. But before, I'm gonna explain more about that in a little bit, but first let's have a look at our new friend here. So, I do not know her name, but in a bit we will be talking about some of the possible inspirations for this character. Because she does have an interesting design, I do find.
A pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished. I am the witch Renna. I'd heard tell of a Tarnished hurtling about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk, I surmise, is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent. As I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee, by Torrent's former master. 'Tis a bell for calling forth spirits. Summon them with it. From ash and return to the Erdtree, the spirits will obey thine command but briefly, as they recall battles past. Now it is thine, to do with as thou wishest. Forgive mine intrusion, Tarnished. I doubt we shall again meet. But all the same, learn well the lands between. How long will it be, I wonder, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the two fingers?
We have a couple of items that we are gonna look at the descriptions of first. Lone Wolf Ashes. Ashen remains in which spirits yet dwell. Used to summon the spirits of 3 lone wolves. Spirits of wolves chased from their pack. They later encountered a nameless Tarnished who welcomed them as hunting companions. The wolf spirits overwhelm enemies with their agility, aiding the summoner in combat. Interesting. If there are 3 wolves, how can they be lone? There are 3 of them. Spirit Calling Bell. A bell capable of summoning various spirits from ashen remains. It usually requires FP to use. Spirits can only be summoned in the vicinity of a rebirth monument. When summoning is possible, the monument icon will be visible on the left side of the screen. Only one type of spirit may be summoned. So that's not really relevant to the lore. Before we continue, I would like to speak a little bit more about our new friend. I mentioned that I didn't know her name, but apparently, while doing the post commentary, I discovered that she does have a name. It's called Renna, which I do not know the origin of the name, and I won't look this up now. I will save that for later videos. But I do want to point at some similarities that I found for this character in manga. So the first manga that I think is being referenced is Kentaro Miura's Berserk. I'm sorry for butchering his name. I am not good with Japanese games, so please get used to that as well. Yeah, from Berserk. It's a reference to the character known as Shirke, or Shirke, who is a little witch girl who has lived isolated from most of society for her life and kinda despises it for people from society are loud and don't respect nature. She's a little bit of a hippie. The reason I think that Renna is a reference to Shirke is that they both have really large heads, and Miyazaki has referenced the Berserk franchise of Miura before in previous Souls titles. Another reference that I found, or I think is being made here, is to Junji Ito's Tommy. Tommy is a story, a short story, or a bunch of short stories about a girl who is supernatural. It's a horror, by the way. She cannot die if parts of her get chopped off or whatever. Those chopped off parts become more versions of her. By which I mean that they duplicate. Which, is interesting. The reason that I think that Renna is a reference to Tommy is that both Renna and Tommy, at least in a certain point in the Tommy story, they have a double face. They have two faces. The difference between the two scenarios is that Renna and her ghost friend, they have or her ghost copy, they have three eyes. They share the middle one. Whereas Tommy and her deformed self, they have 4 eyes. So it's actually just the heads that are conjoined together, and not it's not that they share the eyes. So maybe it is not a reference, but I know that Miyazaki was inspired by Junji Ito in previous Souls games. Though I'm not sure about the actual implications that this has for the lore in general or this character. She, however, did say that she got the wolf summoning bell or stone, the item that summons the wolf spirits. She got that from Torrent's former master. Like there was another tarnished like us before we came along. So I find that to be very interesting. And a quick side note, I am very sorry for saying interesting all the time. I have these words that I will default to when I don't know a better synonym to say. I will also start a lot of sentences with so. I know that's a thing I do. I'm trying to get a bigger vocabulary and fix the so thingy. But, I'm only a person. So know that I am working on that, and I am very aware of it. One more thing that I will mention about Renna, the witch, is that she states Ash, unreturned to the Earth Tree. I'm not sure in which context she said that, but I found it very interesting. It's funny how I cannot go 30 seconds without saying the word interesting. But I also want to say that, well, this footage that I plan to do post commentary over, it's about 1.5 hours. So I'm not sure what to do here, because I'm not gonna talk for 1.5 hours. I don't have much stuff to talk about, and I think most of the footage is just me power leveling. So what I will do, I think, is that I'm just gonna speed up most of the footage that is not too interesting. That is me just fighting random enemies, and I might do post commentary at parts that I find relevant to the game. And if I find out that the footage is not relevant at all to the playthrough, I might just fast forward the whole thing so it fits my post commentary, and then just leave it at that. I love lore. I love talking about it. I love having discussions about it. I love hearing the lore, and I love the Souls games. I love the ambiguity of the lore, the way different visions of the lore may be had without one necessarily being the truth. We can all have our own interpretation of the lore, and that is what I love about the Souls games. My love of the lore is also the only reason that I am making these videos, because I would love to have a platform to talk about this stuff. Even though I may not be the most knowledgeable person to talk on the lore and the many themes and backgrounds and subjects surrounding the lore. But still, I want to give it my best shot, and I hope that people are interested in watching me talk about this, that it may help with the algorithm. But be assured that I will never go around clickbaiting people. I'll never go around making these high energy jump cut videos, because that is what sells. I may do some meme content to maybe trick a larger audience into watching these videos, but yeah, I will stay true to myself. That is at least what I hope to do. Unfortunately, there are a couple of limitations as to how much content I can put out, and the quality that I can guarantee, at least for the time being. So let's start with my time. I am doing my bachelor's in psychology at the university, and it demands a lot of time, as anyone who has done a university study will attest to. It just takes time, and I do have time to create videos, and I try to do it as much as possible. But there are gonna be some periods where I am just so swamped by assignments and deadlines that it will just not be possible for me to record as much as I'd like, or edit as much as I would like. Because while recording these videos is not the biggest deal for me, it's actually pretty great, because I like to play Elden Ring or any other Souls game. But it does take time, and the biggest thing is editing. Editing takes a lot of time right now, because I am new to it. I'm trying to learn it. I'm trying to find a format or a template for my videos that I like, and sometimes I do edit too much, and sometimes I might edit too little. And this is very much a work in progress, the style of editing that I am gonna do, because I haven't decided on a lot of things yet. I'm still very much experimenting. This is video 5, so I think in video 3 and 4 I do a lot more musically. I try to edit in these little montages when I'm doing, when I'm doing boss battles. I sometimes edit in these little montages where I play this 8-bit music video, music on the background, to make it a little bit more cute and a little bit more adorable, I hope. But yeah, the reason I do that is because I think people will get frustrated if I just die to say Margit for like 70 times. I don't think anyone would want to see that. I don't think I would want to see that. And I watch a lot of dumb YouTube content, which really doesn't make any sense. But anyway, yeah, so I will edit out some of the more annoying stuff, but I hope not to lose myself in the editing process and keep these videos close to the way they were recorded. I will, of course, edit out all the load screens, because I don't feel you guys should have to watch that. Another thing is that I hope to make this channel. I hope to make this channel really analytic, in the sense that I hope to apply a certain, scientific, analytical perspective to the lore, which will include looking into definitions of things I find in descriptions of specific words we find in the description of items or in dialogue. I also hope to make it a community experience, in the sense that I really hope that people will start replying to these videos and giving their takes on certain things that I discuss, or we discuss. And also on the analytical lore side of things, it's gonna involve me asking a lot of questions. I'm probably gonna ask more questions than provide answers, because I do not know a lot of things, and I think often asking for input from the community or people who know more about the subject is better than just pretending to know what the hell you're talking about and just rambling on about stuff you have no idea about. And seeing as the Dark Souls community is, well, the Souls games community in general is very diverse and has a lot of different people with different experiences in it, I hope that other people can apply their perspectives from their disciplines in life, or the experience they've had. I hope they can apply that knowledge and give me a greater understanding about the lore. So now that we've talked a little bit about why I make these videos and the constraints that I have in creating the content with regards to my free time, the time that I have available to me to invest in these videos. Now let's talk about the technical side of things. I have a couple of things to say about this. First of all, I unfortunately, for right now, I am limited. I can only bring these videos to you, these episodes, in 30 frames per second, because the game will not run at a smooth 60 frames per second on my rig, because, you know, my rig is a little bit outdated and I'm just a poor student. I do not have the money to buy a graphic card, a new graphics card, especially in the current environment where the prices of graphic cards are just through the roof, and like there's no way in hell that I'm gonna be able to pay that much money. Like maybe in the future, depending on how things go and what the prices in the market do, maybe I will upgrade. I will definitely do it if I have the opportunity and the means, but that remains to be seen in the future. The quality footage wise is not where I want it, because it's not gonna look as good in 30 frames per second. Souls games in 60 frames are just great, and I think for you guys, I go through a lot of hoops to be able to present the footage to you in a stable 30 frames, because if I don't do it, my audio will desync during editing, and the whole video is just not going to make sense. You're going to see me attacking an enemy, and the sound will not be synced to where it has to be. I'll have to manually adjust the sound, and I do not have the time for that, unfortunately. So that is just one limitation that we have, and there is nothing I can do about it right now. And the worst part for me is I have to render the footage twice. First I have to render it so it is at a stable 30 frames, and then I have to edit it in Premiere, and then I have to render it again. And it honestly takes too much time. I do it really efficiently when I'm sleeping and stuff, but still, like, I shouldn't spend that much time rendering. It is kind of outrageous. One thing that is gonna be fixed, hopefully soon, is that I'm gonna get a new microphone, which, it might take a couple of episodes before I will have that, but a friend of mine was really generous to me. Guus, you are a legend, and he says that maybe I can use his microphone, which will have a lot better audio. I am getting a little bit better in Premiere, and I have asked some friends for help with it who have a lot more experience than me in editing audio, and they recommended me some good presets that I can slap on the audio, which make it sound a little bit more, a little bit less obnoxious, I think, for you guys. Another thing which I will hope to fix for you guys is that, well, it's not for you. Yeah, one thing that I need to decide on, I should say, is that when I'm playing the game right now, the frames are variable. At some places in the game I get 50 frames, at some it drops below 30. And sometimes it drops from 50 to below 30 in a boss fight, which in a game like this, where you're trying to read animations and you're trying to read wind-ups to attacks from the boss you are fighting, and you have a idea in your head of like this wind-up for the attack is like 3 seconds. But with a variable frame rate, it could take 3.5 seconds for me sometimes, and I can't depend on really learning boss moves. I have to kind of just improvise and take a shot in the dark when the attack is actually gonna land. And it is incredibly frustrating, I can tell you. Like, I am by no means a very good Souls player, but I beat all the previous games like without too much difficulty. But like with Elden Ring right now, it could also be that I just suck. It could be that it is that I'm nervous about making videos. It could be my ADD playing up, and just the fact that I have to talk actively while doing bosses. It might be too much for me, but I don't think it's the last one, because mostly during bosses at a certain point I put off my microphone, because with boss fights I just get a little salty sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, the thing is, Elden Ring right now is just really hard for me. Like, at least the boss fights, I don't know. It's just, I get wrecked absolutely hard. And I think with Margit, the first couple of attempts, I was a little bit underleveled, but I've been steadily leveling during all the attempts, and I still get wrecked. So what I think I will do is I might just turn the microphone off, turn the camera off, and just power level for a bit. Just grind it out. I don't really care what I have to do. I never was one opposed to grinding. So I just might do that off camera, so that so that I'm a bit over leveled and I can actually clear some of these bosses without too much hassle. And my thinking for this is that, I don't mind just getting wrecked like 20 times by someone like Margit, but it frustrates me, and it sometimes just makes me not want to record, and it just takes too long. I lose the momentum of like the game, because I really want to get further into the game and dive deeper into the lore, but sometimes me getting wrecked in the game, it just doesn't work out as to focusing on the lore. So I might power level a bit, and then I will go through the game a lot easier, and I will be able to focus more on the lore, and I think it will be better for all of us. yeah, if I get a hardware upgrade, that would be awesome. If we make that a thing, and yeah, and hopefully soon I can make that a thing. But if that's not gonna happen, then we just gotta row with the reams. Okay, sorry, I was trying to do like a Dutch proverb, a Dutch figure of speech, but it did not translate. I tried commentary. I mentioned this earlier. Because in post commentary it is a lot easier for me to keep a train of thought and not be overstimulated by all the things going on the screen, which might be good for episodes where there is either a lot of lore to talk about, just so much that I miss stuff during live gameplay, or when I am not in a state of mind to be recording, so when I'm stressed out or just when I'm not feeling it. But I do want to play the game, but I don't want to record, so I might just play the game, record it, and then not do any commentary, and do that in post commenting. Yeah, so that's something that I think I will do for every now and then. I will do that for some episodes. I may also have mentioned that I am Dutch, and I don't know. I think my English is not that bad for a Dutch person, but I think I have a pretty thick Dutch accent, which some of you may find annoying, and hopefully some of you may find it endearing. I personally hate it. I hate like when Dutch people talk English. The cucarachas are dying in the kitchen. That sort of stuff. So yeah, we just have to see how this. I think it will get better though. I think when I'm a little bit more in the flow of making consistent videos in English and talking in English for more than just a couple of sentences, like actually talking for English for like an hour or something. If I do that often, I think that I think my English will improve, and I think my accent will be less intense. So finally, I want to talk about another barrier to me uploading like a ton of videos. Right now, my computer is kind of being a son of a gun, a real what you call it. It's my computer just sometimes it won't boot up. Sometimes I will just have a black monitor, I'll have a keyboard that doesn't work, and my mouse doesn't work either, and it just doesn't start up. But sometimes it will start up. It's kind of a crap shot, and the only thing I can do to kind of get it going is just turn it off and on. So sometimes I will have to turn it off and on for like 10 times, and then it will work. But sometimes I could do it for like forever, and it just will not work, and it might just work the next day. So I don't know what is going on with my computer, but it's incredibly frustrating. Not just for making videos, but also in my actual life. If I have a project that I need to work on, and I need my computer because I need like 2 monitors instead of just a laptop, I just can't. I just cannot start working, which is crazy because I think I've had this computer for 4 to 5 years, and I do not think it should be behaving in this way, or like showing this kind of behavior. Are we talking about behavior when we talk about the things that a computer does? I'm not sure. But yeah, that is incredibly frustrating, and it really sucks when I'm like, I have 1 more hour before I actually need to go to bed. I will knock out another video real quick, and then I just spend an hour on starting up my computer. And when it finally starts working, I'm just too pissed off, honestly, to record anymore. So that's why for like the past 4 days I've had plenty of time to record, but I just couldn't do it because my computer was just not cooperating in the starting up. Another hurdle for me is that you know, I already talked about my rig being kind of outdated, and I might post the specs or something so you know how outdated it is. But like Elden Ring, it runs, you know, it's playable, but there's this thing, like a black-white screen of death thing, which before patch 103, 1.203 maybe? Yeah, 1.203 I think. The game was fine. It would boot up every time when I wanted it to. But since 1.203, it is not working for me. Like, well, it works sometimes, but it takes long. It is inconsistent. Sometimes I will not be able to boot into the menu at all. And sometimes I am able to boot into the menu, but you know, it freezes in the menu. And I've been browsing Reddit and like forums so much the past couple of days, just searching for a fix to the black white screen of death issue. And I've tried like dozens of things, and yeah, they don't seem to work for me. But it is incredibly frustrating, and like the menu bug that I was talking about, it seems to be the Xbox One controller that I use that sometimes just freezes the game. Sometimes it will be in the menu because I take the controller out to like troubleshoot if it is the controller that's causing the issues. And you know, I plug the controller in while it's in the menu, and then the menu just freezes and it will not work. Which is quite a hassle, because like I think it was 2 days ago, I was so excited to be recording. I was like, yeah, I did all my stuff for school, I have the time now, you know, I finally get the computer booted after like 10 restarts, because you know, the issue I talked about where it just won't work. So the computer was working, and then I get into Steam and I click Elden Ring, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And I tried for like 45 minutes. And I think after 45 minutes it worked, and I got into the game and I played for a little bit, and then I wanted to switch it over to my other monitor, so I turned off my main monitor. Why did I want to switch it, you ask? Because my main monitor is bigger and I wanted to do it in a lower resolution so I get more frames per second. But switching the game from monitor to monitor also made it crash. And yeah, so then I rebooted it again. And you know, I got through the black and the white screen of death issue, and I got to the main menu, and I saw my controller wasn't plugged in. So I plugged in my controller and it broke again. And then I tried for another half an hour to get the game mounted up, and it just wouldn't work. And at that point I spent like, I don't know, like at least 1.5 hours just trying to make the game run. And I think after that it did work, but I was just so bummed out. I was just so mad at like the issues I have to go through to just play this game for a little bit and record it. And so those are some technical issues, and sometimes I've had recordings, I think like the recording of this episode, where it wasn't just that the commentary was bad and I was like really kind of sick from COVID. It was also that like the I don't know, I use Shadowplay to record, and sometimes I don't know what it is, but my audio just comes out in really weird, like the game audio will be really weird compared to my mic audio, and I often have found myself just trying to tweak the audio all the time to make sure that my voice sounds good compared to the game volume and not too loud or too soft. And I have found that was also really frustrating, because that added like, I don't know, like at least 30 minutes to every editing session, which was really frustrating. But I may have mentioned this, but with the help of a good friend of mine, I think I now have a preset that I like, and I have to do a whole lot less tweaking with each video that I edit. So I think I'm just rambling on now, but I just wanted to give like a basic introduction to my channel, what I plan to do with it, to myself, who I am, and I also want to give a little bit of background on why my quality is not as high as I wanted it to be, as I want it to be in general, and why putting out a lot of content is kind of tough for me at this stage. Before I end this video, there are just a couple of things that I still want to say. I want to say that yeah, I have exams soon. I think in 3 weeks I have my exams for like my psychology bachelor thing, and it is a doozy. Like this block, this semester is a doozy for me, because meaning that it is hard. It is hard as hell. We have to do brain and behavior, which is like the functioning of the brain, and this guy did not have any biology in high school because I didn't like biology, and I never thought that I would do anything related to biology in my later life. But like, kids, listen to me. Life has an interesting way of just like turning out exactly the way you thought that it wasn't going to turn out. You think I'm not going to be a doctor, you end up a doctor. You think I'm not going to be garbage man, I have a future, and you're going to be garbage man. So yeah, I never thought I would be like a guy studying psychology, but here we are. This is what I do now. Okay, I'm getting a little bit derailed, but yeah, the thing is, it's gonna be pretty busy for me, like the next couple of weeks. So I will not be able to record as much footage and edit as much videos and upload as much videos as I probably want to. But fortunately, during the holiday, I was able to, during the Dutch holiday that we had, I was able to edit a lot of videos and actually upload a lot of videos to YouTube already. So I have this little buffer of videos that will be coming out. And speaking of which, yeah, my upload schedule for now is, I hope that I can get 3 videos out per week. Because I would like to, yeah, at least during the period when I'm uploading the Lore at First Sight series, I hope to be able to do 3 videos per week as a way to force me to play the game and just keep uploading and giving you guys content and hopefully building a community, because I think that consistency is really important in creating anything in life, and most of all a YouTube channel. So that is what I'm gonna aim to do. I think I have rambled on long enough, so for now I would like to wish you all a very good day. I hope you will join me again soon. Oh yeah, before I forget, my upload schedule. I will upload on every Wednesday, every Friday, and every Sunday. That is my aim, and that is what I hope to bring to you guys. I had hoped for this video to be a lot more structured and a lot more, yeah, a lot more to the point and less rambly, but it is what it is. I think I have actually talked about everything, so guys, have a great day. Please join me again soon, and I will see you again next time.